Riders, welcome back to the channel. This back over here is going to be the all-new 2022 Indian Challenger. The Indian Challenger is going to have a water-cooled engine. As you're able to see, you have your radiator over here. Here's going to be your fan. The Challenger comes completely blacked out. It's going to be a water-cooled 1,771cc engine. It's going to have 122 horsepower, 128 foot-pound of torque. In the front, this is going to be 100% LED, so you're going to get a lot of, you're going to be very visible. You get 19-inch tire in the front. As you're able to see, you get Brembo brakes, so you're going to get dual disc 4-piston calipers. In the back, you're going to get a single disc. You can't see it from here, but you're going to get a single disc on the other side, and this is going to be belt driven. This is going to be mated to a 6-speed transmission, and the riding is going to be very smooth. Today we are test riding the all-new 2022 Indian Challenger. Compared to the 2021 Challenger, there are not going to be any real changes. Basically everything is going to carry over. As far as the display carries over. Same thing with the engine. You still get the 1,771cc water-cooled engine that produces 122 horsepower and 128 foot-pound of torque. So the direct competition for your Indian Challenger is going to be more in line with your Harley Davidson Road King. The Road King is basically going to be the same. You're going to get the same, you're going to get the side cases, the saddlebags. You're not going to get a top case like this one. You could buy one for this one, which is going to be an option, but they have introduced what they are calling now the Indian Pursuit, which is going to be basically a dressed up Indian Challenger. With that one, you get the top case. So for this one is going to have over 19 gallons of capacity, which is going to be a lot. Both side cases are going to have, they're going to be locking, and they're going to be keyless, so you're able to basically unlock them with the key fob. So that's another thing that's really nice about Indian. So the display that we have here is going to be a 7-inch display. The beauty about Indian is going to be that this is going to be completely touchscreen, unlike some of the other manufacturers where it's not going to be. This is going to be completely touchscreen, which is going to make it a lot easier to navigate. I know sometimes you have from BMW what they call the magic wheel, which is going to be right over here, something that you roll up and down and you're able to play with your TFT display. This one is going to have touchscreen, which is going to be a very nice feature if you ask. The Indian Challenger is going to have Brembo brakes, and you're going to get dual disc in the front. That's going to be 4-piston calipers, so you get a single disc in the back. You're going to get a 19-inch in the front. You're going to get a little bit over 4 inches of suspension travel, and in the back you get a 6-inch, and you're going to get again a little bit over 4 inches of travel. This is going to be a massive tank. This is going to be over 6 gallons. And one thing that you want to consider if you're going to be buying a bike of this size, it's going to be that the Indian Challenger, once you have all your liquids in, all the fluids, so your oil, your gas, your brake fluid, clutch, all that, you're going to come in at 831 pounds. So it's going to be a very heavy motorcycle, and that might be a challenge for some, especially if you're not comfortable handling this much weight. One great feature that Indian Challenger has, and this is going to be pretty much for all of their models, is going to be that you have throttle by wire. And when you have throttle by wire, you unlock an array of features that you're not going to find in some other motorcycles. So for example, with throttle by wire, you have riding mode, so you're going to have rain, you're going to have road, and you're going to have sport. You're going to be able to have ABS, and you're able to see, if we click over here in the middle, you're going to be able to see that you have your riding modes. You're able to adjust your shock preload, so you're able to adjust to whether or not you're going to have 1 passenger or 2 passenger. So one neat feature as well that this is going to have, you're going to be able to turn your traction control. We're going to go ahead and say cancel, but if you want to go ahead and cancel your traction control, that's something that you're able to do. You have notifications, so you're able to connect your phone, and you're able to go ahead and get your music as well. So one thing If we go to the all settings, you're going to be able to see that you get a lot of information. You're going to be able to see that you get your Indian Challengers, you get your VIN number, which software we're currently running. You're going to get your total miles, how many how many hours your engine has, and it also gives you how many miles till your next service. If we go down to your vehicle, in your vehicle, you're able to see that you get an array of different things that you're able to do. So you get your, let's see, we might be able to squeeze by because honestly it's already almost 90 degrees in this beautiful Florida fall weather. And you were able to see that she has a lot of pickup and go, which is going to be great from a V-twin water-cooled engine. So going back, so the cylinder deactivation, what it does is once you come to a full stop, your throttle is basically in the neutral position. That means you're not giving it any gas, even if you're sitting in neutral. Your rear cylinder is going to go ahead and shut off, and what that is going to do is it's going to go ahead and minimize or reduce the amount of heat that you have coming through your engine. So all that heat that you typically would feel between your legs, once you come to a stop and the temperatures are right, you should be able to feel a decrease in temperature. So up here we're going to be making a right, so, and let me go ahead and do that before we keep talking. So then, you know, so you're able to see that you have different diagnostics, oil life. It's going to give you your shock preload. It's even going to give you for what weight setting. So when you think of that, if you're a heavier rider, you're able to go ahead and adjust based how many pounds, how many pounds do you weigh. So if you're able to go ahead and adjust it based on your weight, you're able to get a more comfortable ride. So that is going to definitely go ahead and reduce. If you guys know, a lot of times you have to go ahead and get a aftermarket shocks and whatnot. Having this electronic suspension, you're able to go ahead and adjust it by weight, and that's going to make it a lot more comfortable, especially if you're going to be heavier or lighter. And another great feature is that you're able to adjust it for when you have a passenger. So especially this type of bikes, these are meant to be like cruisers, so that's going to be great. So if we go back here, then you're able to see that we have you have tire pressure monitoring, you have GPS status. So let's see. Then we come here to your audio, and when you come to your audio, again, you have different settings. Your speaker, this comes with a 100-watt speaker system, so that's going to be very loud. So equalizer, speaker loud, automatic voice control, you're able to adjust your timing. So again, guys, you get a lot of nice features with the Indian Challenger. So one great feature that you're going to find with your Indian motorcycle, it's going to be the fact that you get from Indian what is called the Indian Ridecommand. The Indian Ridecommand, it's going to act as your one source for your GPS, so you're not going to need to basically do anything else as far as trying to get yourself situated, get yourself get your coordinates. You're going to be able to do everything from the app. As you're able to see, it gives you it gives you the map. One thing that you're going to notice is if we're going to go over here and toggle on our left handlebar, if we go down, you're going to be able to exit the map, so you're zooming out. If you give it if you go up on the toggle, as I'm showing you here, you're going to be able to see that we are basically zooming in. Then we are gonna get a electronic windshield. So this windshield is gonna be nice, so you're able to do it either slowly like that, or if you wanted to, you could go ahead and give it 2 thumbs up, so twice, and the windshield automatically raises all the way up. I don't know if you're able to capture this on the video, but there's going to be a space here, there's going to be a gap, which is going to allow for air to still come through. So what that does is this windshield, it raises high enough where I'm sitting down, and just so you guys know, I have a it's almost like a 31-inch inseam, so the air right now is going completely above me, above my helmet. However, that slot right here allows the wind to go ahead and filter too and hit my chest and keep me cool. So that right there is going to go ahead and make it a lot more comfortable. It's going to make it a lot more comfortable when you're riding, especially in either hot weather or cool weather, but I would say mostly in hot weather like the ones we're riding today here in Florida. So looking at our heads-up display here, this is going to be the basically the Ridecommand display from Indian Motorcycles, and you're going to be able to see, if we click here, it's going to give you the information. So you're going to be able to get your map, you're going to get your battery voltage, you're going to give you your tire pressure, and it's also going to go ahead and give you a compass. If we go here, we go back to the map. If we press on what appears to be like settings, that little wheel in the middle circle, that right there, what it does is it brings you to the motorcycle like main setting menu. If you click on the phone icon here, it brings you to your phone. So basically, if you have a phone connected via Bluetooth, you're able to go ahead and do that. It gives you your music. So I mean, you get a lot of features from this. One thing that I like from Indian is that you're able to download the Ridecommand application from Indian, and when you download that application, you're also able to get some of the information that you will get from the motorcycle display. You're going to go ahead and get it on your phone as well. So you're able to get all that information. One great thing about it as well is the Ridecommand, you're going to be able to plan routes, and not just plan routes, you're able to go ahead and do it by pinpoint. So you're able to do, you're able to go ahead and plan your route completely and then just go ahead and have it in your motorcycle. So that was a close call. If he wouldn't have stopped, I might have been able to swerve around him, but not sure. So guys, I gotta say that the Indian Challenger sounds very good. What you're listening to right now is going to be the stock exhaust, so it sounds extremely good. So that's that right there. Vibrations, since it's a water-cooled motorcycle, water-cooled engine, vibrations are going to be less than, let's say, if you were riding the Roadmaster or the Indian Chief or the Chieftain, which are going to have air-cooled engines. The ride, it's going to be heavy. Like I said earlier, it's going to be 831 pounds. However, you feel the motorcycle planted to the ground, which is going to be comfortable, especially if you're going to be doing some long distance touring. I know that Challenger is not technically per se classified as a touring motorcycle. However, it will not take much if you're planning to do that. As you're able to see, you get floorboard, which is going to be one thing that's going to make your ride a lot it's going to make it comfortable. You get these winglets here, and these winglets right here basically move air away from you. You're going to have one on your left and one on your right side. You're going to see that we have a you're going to get basically a connection for SAE, and what you're able to do with that as well is you're able to go ahead and connect like heated gear, and you're able to go ahead and run it from there. You're going to get two pockets, one here and one over here, and that's going to go ahead right there and be for storage. So you're going to have storage on front of the motorcycle. If you're into this type of motorcycle, which is going to be a bigger motorcycle, you're going to be able to see that you have your speakers. Like I said earlier, this is going to be a 100-watt speaker, so even when you're running at high speed, this technically the system is going to be able to give you a lot of that, you're going to be able to listen to a lot of that music and whatnot. So what do I think about it? I think this is going to be a great value. You get 122 horsepower, you get 128 foot-pound of torque, you get a motorcycle that is going to basically, technically, it should run a lot better than your Harley Davidson Roadkin. If you're going for the air cool engine, then maybe the Chief would be a good option, or the Chieftain. But as far as technology goes, the technology package, the big infotainment system that we have here is going to be nice. So I showed you guys earlier when you have the cylinder deactivation. So right now it's showing you the rear cylinder, which is going to be right over here. So this right here, this cylinder is technically right now it's off. You see, I'm not holding the throttle, but let's say if I'm holding the clutch, if I give it some gas, well, won't be able to show you now. Let's see. So maybe I'm able to show you here at the next stop. So right now, if we can see, we have the rear, we have the cylinder deactivation. That's going to be the rear cylinder. So if we give it some gas, so you're able to see that the activation automatically goes off. The motorcycle, you know, the software, the computer on the motorcycle thinks that you're going to go ahead and go into gear. Once it gives you a few seconds, it sees that you're not moving, the throttle's in the, you know, in the closed position. Once again, you're able to see that you have your rear cylinder deactivation on. So as you saw, this is going to be the Indian Challenger. It's going to be a very beautiful motorcycle. It's going to have a lot of technology that is going to be very useful for everyday riding. It's going to have a starting price of $24,999, so basically a $25,000 pricing. If you're in Canada, it's going to start basically at 30,000 Canadian dollars. So it's a very it's going to be a very educated decision that you're going to have to make, because I know a lot of people, when you think of, you know, your cruiser motorcycle, when you think of a motorcycle that, you know, is going to have the, you know, the hard saddlebags, you're going to have this standard sitting position, or you're going to have this cruiser sitting position, which is going to be, you know, you're sitting comfortably, you know, arms are not going to be overstretched or anything. You always think of Harley Davidson. However, Indian has been making strides, have been making a lot of gain as far as, you know, updating their lineup, giving the people what they want to see. You get 2 years of unlimited mileage, so you get a lot for the package that you're getting, and the pricing of Indian motorcycles is going to be very comparable to what you would get on, you know, with Harley Davidson. So, you know, it's going to be, as I said, it's going to be something that you're going to have to basically just decide, okay, do I want to get a Harley? Do I want to get an Indian? Do I want to go with a water-cooled engine? Do I want to go, you know, do I want to stay with air-cooled? Do I want to go with a brand that has been around for over 100 years continuously? Do I want to switch to Indian? So, I mean, it's going to be, again, it's going to be all, it's going to be very, you know, personal, that decision that you make. So, you know, that's going to be something that you're going to have to keep in mind. With that said, guys, if you enjoy the video, if you enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up. Only about 0.7 of you guys that watch the channel are subscribed, so the more subscribers that I get, you know, the better it's going to be for the channel. We're going to get better growth, more audience. So if you enjoy the, you know, the content, give it a thumbs up. That way the algorithm knows it's good, and I will see you guys on my next video.